So thank you so much for having me for this conference, and best wishes and greetings from here, from Mexico. My name is Kate, and I'm alumni of the Open Society Foundation program on European Studies. So basically, I'm graduated from year 2013, and at the moment, I'm living and working in Mexico. So first of all, I would like to thank everyone who made this conference possible, and I definitely think that that's a great cooperation idea that can actually lead us to closer alumni networking and to developing lots of interesting projects. Just as we were hearing today, many different quite interesting proposals from different spheres. From public relations, public institutions, from academia as a previous speaker. And I think today at this conference I will be representing alumni who started their path on the business track. So basically what I was asked to do is to share a little bit of my background and my career path. And afterwards to share some ideas of how we can enhance cooperation. So I will now start sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Okay, I hope that you're getting that already.
Not yet, really. Yeah, we have it.
Okay, great. So basically, just to walk you through my experience, let's start with the bachelor education, which was Bachelor of Business Administration in International Economics. And basically my specialization there was marketing and international economics. After getting this bachelor in Kyiv, Ukraine, I was working for a bit in the private sector. I was working as foreign economic activity manager, so basically I was in charge of import and export operations as well as international relations and representing company on the international events and trade fairs. And afterwards, I was employed at the American Chamber of Commerce as a committee coordinator. And there I came to be interested in topics such as international cooperation, international relations, energy policy. And later on, even during my studies on the master level, I pursued this agenda of energy policy. As you know, it's quite a thrilling topic for Ukraine, and my idea was to basically to gain some expertise and to bring together expertise from the Netherlands, which is super successful in using the alternative energy sources, experience from Germany and from those countries, and bring them together for the benefit of Ukraine. Okay, so afterwards I continued my education with Master in International Relations and European Politics. And that was exactly the program supported by the Open Society Foundation, which I'm super grateful for that opportunity, because it was a really, really valuable experience and eye-opener in so many things. So that was from 2011 until 2013. Apart from these studies, we were also invited for a number of conferences, like, for example, the preparation program that we did in Istanbul, Turkey, University in Turkey, and then we had a conference in St. Hugh's College in Oxford, and as well we were invited to the conference Futures of Democracy by the Central European University, which we were sad to get news of its relocation and the bunch of problems that it was facing with the current Hungarian government. So apart from the main master degree, we also got opportunity to participate in a number of events supported by the foundation, and that as well was a great cooperation platform and opportunity to meet fellows from all around the world. So I think that was really an excellent program, and unfortunately at the moment it's been already discontinued, but I'm eternally grateful to have been part of this family. And actually another great achievement that we get from the program is the alumni network. I think that's one of the most important parts that we should really focus on and prioritize in the future career steps, because I'm sure it can be a great instrument. So basically in 2013, after finishing the master program itself, I also did a number of internships. The first one was a research internship at the University of Leuven at Institute of International and European Policy. And I conducted some research on the free trade agreements, on the trade cooperation, also with some research trips to Poland and to Brussels. And afterwards, I continued at the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, which is a German political foundation. The representative office in Brussels, where I was also part of the research team on international and European politics, with some emphasis on Ukraine and also on energy topics. So at this moment you may be wondering how comes that I'm at the moment living in Mexico, because all the preparatory steps don't really indicate anything about this. And I can only say that to the best of our planning efforts, there's always this unexpected life factor, as we call it. So upon finishing my program, I met my future husband, who is Mexican, and upon finishing our studies and internships, we made a decision to move to Mexico, or at least to try and see whether I like it here for a more permanent residency. So, in 2014, I found myself living in Morelia, in a beautiful city, and in the middle part of Mexico, the central part of Mexico. And obviously, there was very few things that I could do with the expertise that I had. You know, the expertise on European policy, Ukraine, EU cooperation, even energy sector. At that moment, it was really a big question how to move on, because I wasn't able to find myself fitting into that environment. So basically, what we did was to start a business consulting company. And both my husband and I were collaborating on it, and we did a project on basically the whole restructuring of one of the companies, one of the medium-sized Mexican companies. And the project I was responsible was managing the intellectual property department. So for over a year, I found myself engaged in the topics of intellectual property management, filling in the applications to the Institutes of Intellectual Property in Mexico, in the United States, in the countries of Latin America. And so I got more engaged into this kind of business strategy consulting topics. And later on, we moved on with a project at which I'm currently collaborating. Basically, it's a startup company, biotechnology company, which is called Nupromic Biotech. It's a relatively new project. We have only 3 years in operation, but already showing some substantial results in terms of research and innovation in the sphere of biotechnology, in technology of natural functional food ingredients and supplements. So basically, we are building up expertise in this field of researching, developing the production processes, and later on manufacturing the functional food ingredients. That is really the whole new branch of biotechnology that is developing quite rapidly. And at the moment, company already has a number of patent applications, a number of software that we have developed, and a number of innovative projects that we are the only producers on the national Mexican market. So I think for 3 years we are doing really good, and we are doing both the research part, which we also get into cooperation with Mexican institutions and Mexican Science Council and Mexican Institute of Entrepreneurship. We do some commonly funded projects. And as well on the commercial side, we're developing and doing projects for one of the biggest companies here in Mexico. And inside this company, I'm the one responsible for the commercial side, everything from marketing, public relations, key account management, relations with international customers, companies' representation on international events, enhancing international cooperation, etc., etc. So basically, one can say that my path was not really a straightforward road from my academic background and preparation. But at the moment, I'm very happy with what we're doing, and I see great potential for this project. And I think it's something also very meaningful and very inspiring for me to do, because you can try to improve or change the world in many ways. And I think investing in biotechnology and doing research in this sphere is one of the good ways to do so. Basically, at the moment, I would like just to show very briefly some company presentation, just a glance. I know that we don't have much time here, but just so that you you get some idea. So our three main spheres is production of functional ingredients and selling them business to business, manufacturing of food supplements and selling them as a ready-to-use, ready-to-consume product business to customer, and also offering the biotech services on the business-to-business level. And the main challenges that we have identified is disnutrition of population. Disnutrition is a new term that's been coined, meaning that you are not getting the necessary nutrients, even though you're not starving, but you're just mismanaging your nutrition, which leads to disnutrition. Basically, the diet's heavy on sugars, on carbohydrates, on fats, and that leading to the health problems. And basically, our mission is to contribute to preventive health and to improve the health conditions of millions of people, starting from Mexico, but the intention is to spread really worldwide with it. And we work with a number of functional ingredients. As you can see, it's been a trend since the late 1950s to enrich food with different supportive ingredients like vitamins, minerals, acids. At the moment, we find ourselves at the stage 2. As you can find products like yogurts with prebiotics, probiotics, omegas. And for example, ingredient that we deal with is beta-glucan, yeast beta-glucan, which is immune stimulating ingredient. And we are the only producer here in Mexico of this ingredient. And we have patents and applications for the process of elaboration of it. And also we are moving in research to functional ingredients of the third generation, which are the bioactive peptides, which are even more specific than the generation number 2 and have functions like anti-hypertensive, anti-glycemic, anti-cholesterolemic, nootropic. So that's on the topics on which we are currently doing the research. And while it's been a trend worldwide, the fortified foods, I'm sure also in Ukrainian market, you can see that easily that people are more conscious about.
I'm sorry, Kateryna. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Unfortunately, we are time limited. Thank you very much for joining us. The purpose of this conference is to unite people from different spheres, business and academia and social development, just to discuss mutual ideas, how we can be helpful for each other and for Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Sure. Thank you very much for having us. And I will also be willing to share some ideas on the cooperation. If you want, I can send it as a separate proposal.
30 seconds, please.
Okay. So basically, as you can see, alumni work in different spheres, in public sectors and private sectors. But what we have in common is our background and our willingness to contribute. So the idea would be to make a program, an exchange program, hosted by different countries, by alumni from different countries, given an opportunity to each one of us to explore the country's conditions. An idea would be to enhance international cooperation skills, to give opportunity to come in contact with local companies, and to strengthen economic relations. Basically, in practical terms, how that could be done, that could be arranged a kind of study group for people interested in learning the country. For example, I don't know, we have alumni in Poland, no, we have alumni in the United States, we have alumni in Switzerland. And let's say there is a group of interested alumni who would like to come to Switzerland and learn about public institutions, for those who work in public sector, or business environment. So basically, it's a platform, it's a study group visit that you organize, and with the help of alumni in situ, you get all the necessary instruments to come in contact with the local businesses now. So what we can do there is we can do networking, we can learn about local business culture, We can improve our negotiation techniques, we can do company visits, and we can participate in the necessary events, conferences, trade fairs, etc., etc. So basically the idea is to benefit from the geographical diversity of the places where our alumni are present, and to give an opportunity to make this kind of exchange of expertise and of opinion on the geographical area. I think it's something that is still not there at the moment, and something that we can benefit greatly making this kind of study tours. And as being, for example, alumni located in Mexico, I would be happy also to contribute if anyone is interested in coming here. Please feel free to contact me, and I will be very happy to help you organize your visit.
Okay.
That's to put it shortly.
Thank you.